Sika Twum, 1980-year group. I'm a transformative leadership coach and a corporate trainer. And as a coach, there's a saying by Peter Senge. He says, the structures of which we are unaware hold us prisoner. The structures of which we are unaware hold us prisoner. So as a transformative coach, I help women, particularly women, I work with men as well, but I help women in high growth potential women in leadership to identify the structures of which they are unaware, which is sabotaging their ability to become who they really want to be, in order for them to break those structures and shine and move from where they are now, whether it has to do with their work or whether it has to do with relationship, move from where they are to their preferred future, to where they want to be. And as my teenage self, if I were to advise my teenage self, I would say that those attributes you have that people tend to describe as a liability could become your asset. And so you should identify it and nurture it. The reason why I'm saying that is that I remember when I was a kid, I've always loved to talk. And my father used to say, "Oh, Joyce, you talk too much. Oh, Joyce, you talk too much." And at a stage, I thought that was a liability. That was not good to talk too much. But that same talking, when I turned it into an asset, is what I'm using now as a coach. So I'm saying those attributes that seem to be liabilities, turn them into assets, okay, and use them to become what you want to become. If I were to advise professionals, I would say create life balance. I wouldn't say work-life balance, because I don't believe there's a distinction between work and life. Your work is an integral part of your life. Okay, so I believe in life balance. And if you were to create life balance, I would ask you to look at three things: your experiences, look at your growth, look at your contribution to humanity. So with your experiences, you would want to look at your love relationships. How are you creating balance there? How are you giving time to that? I would ask you to look at friendships. What time do you give to that? I would like to ask you to look at adventure. You have time to travel, to do the things that are not really work. With your growth, I would ask you to make time for your career. Look at your career. How are you growing? How are you adding to yourself? I would say make time for your creative life, okay? Other things apart from just work. And for contribution, I would say look at what you want to contribute to humanity, okay, which brings fulfillment for you. So I am just basically saying that there's really nothing like work-life balance. There's life balance, because work is an integral part of life. Okay, if I were to speak to retirees, I would say you have a lot embedded in you. Your experiences throughout life has given you a lot. So look for an opportunity to mentor. Look for an opportunity to share and to give back what you have gained, so that you help others to become a higher version of themselves. Okay, and how I got here. I think it's really interesting how I got to become a transformative leadership coach and a corporate trainer. And as I said earlier, it was my mouth. That thing that initially they were saying it's too much, you talk too much, is what I crafted, is what I molded, and it became an asset, and I'm using it now. So at Holy Child, I remember even the subjects I chose. I wasn't a bright student. I was an average student, and slightly below average. Okay? And I remember the subjects I chose was history, Greek, and home science, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I didn't really have any guidance. And when I finished Holy Child, I barely passed. I passed O level, but I didn't pass well enough to do sixth form. And I got the opportunity to travel to Denmark. I did an exchange program. And when I came back, my parents asked me, "So Joyce, what do you want to do?" I wanted to be a model. I wanted to be an air hostess. I was confused. And my parents did a good job, because they had observed me, and they had noticed that I liked to talk. I liked to be with people. I liked to tell a story. And so they told me, "Why don't you go to the teacher training college?" I said, "My goodness, teacher training." At that time, teacher training was for those who didn't do too well and who couldn't go to university. But I did go. And I think that was a turning point in my life. At the training college, I did psychology, I did education, and I started topping the class. Out of 100 women, I would be third, first, between first and third throughout. So I found myself, I ended up doing psychology. From there, I did human resource management. And then I started really developing a passion for helping students. Okay, so I set up a company. I worked at the Ghana International School as the school counselor for about 13 years, helping students find themselves. And then I moved to set up Self Search, my own company. And that is when I started moving into professional work as an executive coach, where I work with women and men, but I am passionate about working with women. So I work with women in leadership. I work with MTN, women in technology. I help them to unlock their potential and to maximize their performance and to become a higher version of themselves. I work with Hopsa, women in leadership. I have worked with Calbank, training them as coaches, managers. So, what I would say is that we all find ourselves in situations where we are stuck. Sometimes we are stuck when it comes to helping our children make informed career decisions. And that's, self search, that's one thing we do. Sometimes you are stuck with regards to career change. You are stuck with regards to relationship issue. And you just need someone, a professional, who will ask you powerful questions and help you navigate the issue and come up with a solution on where you want to be. That is where coaching comes in. And that is where I believe we are able to help you navigate and come out and identify what the issue is and find a solution to it. So as a coach, we work together and we help to move you to the next level. Thank you.